Hey everyone, welcome back to Perfectly Balanced Co. If you're new here, I'm Jen, and this is your weekly human design energy update. Every week, I break down the sun and earth gates and the bigger themes moving through the sky and what this energy can support in your real life, so you can work with the week instead of fighting it. Take a breath with me, let your shoulders drop, and let's step into it. This week, we are moving through gate 36 in the sun and gate 6 in the earth. So the theme is pretty clear. Emotional intensity meets emotional boundaries. This experience wants to teach you something, and your nervous system really wants honesty, pacing, and clean relational edges. So if you have felt tender or reactive or overwhelmed, maybe craving some closeness or space, or like your emotions are louder than usual, this is the sign. This is a week where the energy turns the volume up so you can learn what's true for you. Gate 36 in the sun is the energy of emotional experience. It carries the feeling of something is happening, even when you cannot fully name what it is yet. This gate can bring big feelings, uncertainty, urgency to fix things fast, impatience with the unknown, and a deep compassion once you let the experience do its work. A key note to remember here is that Gate 36 is not trying to punish you. It's just here to mature you through real life experiences, and it teaches through the moment itself. So a good question this week becomes, can I stay with what I'm feeling long enough to learn what it is trying to show me? The Earth in Gate 6 is your grounding point this week, and it is all about emotional boundaries and intimacy. Gate 6 asks, what am I available for emotionally? What crosses a line for me? What helps me soften and open safely? What creates friction because the boundary is unclear? Sometimes Gate 6 feels like closeness, sometimes it feels like conflict. Most of the time, it is actually asking for honesty. Things like, I need a minute before I talk. I want closeness. I need space. That tone does not work for me. I'm open to fix things. I'm not open to being pressured. This week gets easier when you stop trying to force emotional clarity and you start creating emotional safety. As the sun moves through Gate 36 line by line, the emotional lesson evolves. Early in the week, it can feel like the first wave of intensity. The body notices something and the mind tries to label it. Then we start to go inward, and we might notice some of our own natural habits and patterns when we are moving through an emotional lesson. By midweek, we hit the testing point. You may try something, say something, initiate something, and learn from the response. Then comes understanding the impact of that around us. How the saying something or doing something interacts with the people around us. After that, we reach the point where other people are coming to us to see how we've handled the intensity, to learn from what we've gained so far, and for us to learn from them. At the end of the week, we learn the wisdom of this experience. Our capacity for this experience expands. You start to see the whole situation and what it was trying to teach you. If you feel like you are learning in real time, it's because you are. And the Earth in Gate 6 is reminding you that this lesson lands best when your boundaries are clear enough to hold you steady. The background supporting themes this week are in the North Node in Gate 37 and the South Node in Gate 40. This is the backdrop, which is surrounded by tribal, family, and community themes. It highlights agreements, support systems, emotional reciprocity, who carries what, and what is sustainable to give and receive. So this week you can pay attention to where you are overextending, where you are craving support, and not clearly asking for it. A beautiful practice is simply saying, what would feel supportive right now? And letting the answer be honest. Mercury is in retrograde this week through gate 37. That brings a review energy to our communication in regards to relationships, family systems, and agreements. This can look like old conversations resurfacing, misunderstandings that reveal deeper needs, revisiting a commitment, realizing an agreement was never clear. This is a good week to slow down and ask, are we actually talking about the same thing? And what do we both need to make this work? Venus shifts from gate 17 into gate 21, then toward gate 51. This is a fascinating emotional and relational arc. Gate 17 brings opinions, what you believe, and what makes sense. Gate 21 brings control, responsibility, and power dynamics. Gate 51 brings initiation and shock, the energy that wakes you up. So if you notice yourself caring more about who is right early on, then feeling who is in charge of this later, and then feeling a moment of emotional truth that resets you, you are tracking the energy correctly. It might be great to try this week, instead of defending your opinion, asking what you are trying to protect. Mars moves from gate 37 into gate 63. Mars is how we act, push, and respond under pressure. In gate 37, action is relational. It's about family, teamwork, and loyalty. In gate 63, action can get mentally tense. It's focused on doubt, question, and spirals. If this change makes you a little more confused, give yourself some space and time and allow it to process. Jupiter shifts from gate 39 into gate 53. Jupiter is focused on what expands. Gate 39 expands provocation. It provokes the emotional field. Gate 53 expands new cycles. It's the beginning of something new, and it's new momentum. This supports the idea that the emotional intensity is not random. It is often the doorway into a new chapter. The moon moves quickly, shifting the emotional atmosphere every few hours. Each gate highlights a different layer of experience. It starts off in gate 38, the energy asking what is worth fighting for. Then moves to gate 54, where the focus shifts towards advancement and movement. Then 61, the mind turns inward here. Then gate 60, this is the energy of structure and constraint. Then 41, the energy softens and turns towards possibility. Then 19, this is deeply sensitive, might be a very emotional moment. Gate 13, now the energy invites reflection. Then gate 49, here the emotional field sharpens. Gate 30, the emotional wave builds. Gate 55, the emotional landscape opens. Gate 37, the energy turns towards connection. Gate 63, the mind begins testing what is true. Gate 22, the emotional presence becomes visible. And then gate 36, the energy lands back in the energy of experience. Let each emotional movement reveal what is alive each day, and let your boundaries decide what you have the capacity to hold. Here are some practical reminders for the week. Pause before you react. Pause before you react. Not because your feelings are wrong, but because your feelings deserve to be met with presence. Name the boundary gently. Clear is kind, simple is powerful. Choose emotional pacing over emotional intensity. You do not have to ride every wave to the edge. Let every experience teach you. This week is not asking you to be perfect, it's asking you to be real. Here's a few journal prompts to help you. Where am I trying to force emotional clarity instead of creating emotional safety? What boundary would make my relationships feel softer and more honest this week? What is this experience trying to mature in me? This is a week of emotional truth, clean boundaries, and deeper intimacy with yourself. You're allowed to slow down, you're allowed to ask for what you need, and you're allowed to let the lesson unfold. If you want extra support, I will have a meditation for this week's energy coming up and an affirmation loop to help your nervous system stay steady while you move through it. And if you want to go deeper into how this energy hits your personal chart, you can grab a mini reading in the link below. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time for the next update.